Now, foreign investors have flocked to Nigeria's markets in recent months following the threat of a U.S. trade war with larger developing economies. The Nigerian naira is said to be among the world's top performing currencies since the U.S. election in November, with a rise of more than 7% against the dollar. It's a turnaround for the continent's most populous nation. Now, Egypt, Turkey, and other countries have enticed investors back to their countries in the past year, and there are hopes that Nigeria will follow suit. We're joined now by international business economics consultant, Professor Anthony Chibo. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight tonight. Well, I mean, it's exciting when you hear that, you know, Nigeria may be on the road to becoming another Turkey, but when you consider
indices.
Yeah, I mean, the gap is quite large. Yeah. Turkey has an economy of over $1 trillion. True. Nigeria is still hovering around, below $400 billion. But what's the basis for this optimism? What are we doing right that's pointing in the direction that, we're saying that we're looking more like Turkey sooner than later?
Okay. I hope I'm not going to be bearer of some not too good news.
Go ahead. Please don't burst the bubble.
Yeah, but yes, it is true that especially in the last 18 months, there has been influx of foreign investment right. into the country. And that's very good. It's commendable. But you see, we investigating what type of foreign investment came in shows what we must learn.
Right.
Most of the foreign investment that has come in have been portfolio investment, okay? And I think it was 96% divide 60-something percent portfolio investment. The rest was trade credits, and the rest was loan. It means that's 96% non-FDI. And when you can start dancing and being happy is when you are getting FDI, right. Foreign direct investment, and we are not.
So we're getting ahead of ourselves when we compare ourselves to the next Turkey. That's what you're saying.
Seriously.
But let's look at some things here. There are reports that we're the next hot destination for global investors. The naira is one of the world's top performing currencies in recent times. The yields, the bond yields are eye-watering.
Yes.
And inflation is falling, not as fast as we would like, but it is falling. So is this real economic turnaround when you look at all of these indices, or just speculative bubble, like you hinted earlier?
Well, okay.
What is the core, what is responsible for this? I mean, is this long-term? All of this we are seeing, development we are seeing, hot destination, inflation falling, the bond yields eye-watering. We have seen this before. Investors come in, make their profits high, and then they're out. Is this what we are saying? Is this repetitive?
That's
or this is long term?
No. It's not long term. Long term is indicated by FDI. When people are confident in your economy, they come in physically to invest because the infrastructure to invest is there, and they're confident that their yields today will lead to profits in the long term. When people are not, in fact, all the things you've mentioned now shows that people are not that confident in our economy, so they want to come in fast, take advantage of whatever can be taken advantage of, and go. And that's not really something to be excited about in any way whatsoever. Now, one important thing you must note about is that the very things that make people take advantage of short-term investments are the very things that should tell you that you're in no path for development. Yes, economic growth and economic development are not the same thing. Right. Very closely related. What we should be gunning for at any time, and if we're going to be happy, we should be happy that we're on the path of economic development. There's a comparison between us and Turkey. Now, Turkey's economy is manufacturing based. They have a heavy heavy manufacturing base, producing cars, electronics, you talk about textile. So, and most investment in Turkey are long based because the infrastructure for such is there. Here, the bonds, yields, you know what I mean, government bonds, that's short term. And when 96% of your investment is portfolio, loans, and credit, there's a problem.
So how do we turn this around? Apparently, just like you said, the manufacturing sector in Nigeria especially is still struggling to attract foreign direct investment. I mean, what are the steps that need to be taken to make our manufacturing sector more attractive, to make Nigeria as a whole more attractive for the for FDI?
Import substitution, manufacturing. Number one, do everything you can to produce what you consume.
Right.
Stop your importation to the best of your ability. Cut down on importation and encourage in-house Nigerian manufacturing. The manufacturing sector must be invested in. How do you do that? You do that by creating manufacturing zones in every state.
Right.
You must do that. And in these manufacturing zones, power is not only cheap, but it never ceases. Then I'm trying to be fast. Then you go forward as well. Remember that the whole purpose for these manufacturing zones is to import substitute. That's produce what we are unnecessarily importing. That's what that means. Then put in power, and you have zones that are for manufacturing. The next thing now you do is the skills.
Right.
We're in the midst of a fourth industrial revolution.
Haven't we missed that already?
It's good. It's good you said that, but there is still hope because the skills of the fourth industrial revolution, AI, data science, and all the rest can still be learned by our youth. Why? Because you need such skills to maintain your manufacturing investment. And that is very, very, very important. Now, the last but not the least is policies and implementing policies that are Nigeria must develop first policies, irrespective of what the IMF, the World Bank, and the likes will say. I need to repeat this last point.
Underscore that.
Yes, yes. Nigeria must develop policies irrespective of what the IMF or the World Bank says. If that is the mindset, if that is the policies that are being implemented, then we're on the right path.
Great. So we should go beyond it's what we produce, where will we produce, to Nigeria developing first policy. Great. But I wanted to ask you, because there are those who also highlight that these investors turning away of Nigeria is as a result of geopolitics happening, such as Donald Trump in power and his many, topsy-turvy policies that is happening. And so these investors are trying to choose other safe havens, and Nigeria seems to be, catching their attention at the moment. So do you think that it's a temporary hiding place? Do you think geopolitics really is playing a role in the investors we're seeing? Or is it just about the eye-watering yields and quick profits that has attracted them? What is it, or a combination of all?
I think they are eye-watering, to use your term, yields that are short-term. You can come in and come out very short-term. It's wise. If you're a smart investor, you would invest in Nigerian bonds. And I recommend that. Okay? If you're a smart investor, anything that Nigeria has to offer in the short term is good. But like I said, it's the same thing that I've just said is good. It's also bad when you analyze it for the long term.
Yeah, I guess the fundamental thing is, how does it, impact on the lives of the ordinary Nigerians at the end of the day?
Good. So the Nigerian economy, especially with this kind of investment, is not creating wealth and progress for the common man.
Unfortunately.
We'll
have to live with
that. So it has something to do with the geopolitics.
Chibo.
Geopolitics of, please repeat the question.
Of the U.S. Trump in power and his policies and tariffs.
I do not. Well, in the term in
because in the Financial Times report, that's what was highlighted.
Yes. In the case of short-term dumping, can I call it dumping of money? Yes. If you're not sure of what the U.S. economy is going to do, Nigeria in the short term is a good bet. It's a good bet.
So we can take advantage of it.
But I'd like to leave it at the fact that economic development, FDI, must be attracted. Yeah.
Great.
Anthony Chibo is International Business Economics Consultant. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight.